adventure, which is we're going to be adventuring with 3D heart making. Good morning to all my friends, Leslie, Barbara, Loretta, Ardeen, let's see who else, Louise, Sherry, Jeanette, Joyce, Vicky. I know there's a commercial because I got one too. I don't know, does everybody get the same commercial? Anyway, so hello, good morning, Vicky. Good morning, Joyce. Joyce. I don't know, Leslie. I heard more snow this weekend. I don't know. Did you hear anything new about that? I'm looking forward to not having any snow because then I won't have to worry about plowing it. Okay. All right. So this morning we are doing a 3D version of a puffed heart that is from SVG Cuts. So here is the puffed heart that I've cut out in a number of different. It goes together so quickly. Here's the heart in pink. And I've already cut out quite a few. It's what's really kind of cool is about this project is it's really quick. And it only takes one sheet of paper. So if you have like a favorite sheet of Valentine's paper that you want to display, as I know I have one from Martha Stewart when she used to make her paper. I think I might do that one for this, but they're cute. They are pretty sturdy. I mean, I wouldn't be putting Tootsie Rolls in there. 25% off any of our Valentine's projects, and there's no limit and no minimum order either. So 25% is pretty good. And don't be like me because I have them all and haven't done them all. Just pick one. Anyway, this one here that we're doing today is from a nice pack called All My Love. Let me just find that one. Hottest downloads. Let's try this here. The hottest download. It's got to include this heart. No, it doesn't. All right. So I see on the chat some people are saying, oh, they have to make a lot more Valentine's Day cards. There are some pretty easy for kiddos Valentines that we've done a number of times, and I'm going to show you where they are at the end of this in case you're interested in just making cards. There are some really cute like Valentine's cards similar to what we did earlier in the week. I think we did small cutouts from Print Then Cut. Miss Kate, remember we did that? So anyway, anyway, good morning, good morning. Oh, there's Penny. Hi, how are you, Penny? I was just thinking about you last night, thinking about you. How you doing? And let's see, what else? There's just a lot to choose from here. I'm choosing this from All My Love. It includes 5 projects. One of them, plus extras. One of them is a vintage TV box. The other one is like a little, almost like a French fry bucket, but with hearts, conversation hearts. And then there's this really cute card in this pack. So if you like the heart and you're planning on buying it, you might want to look for this entire group called All My Love. And as I mentioned before, when you're doing, let's see, an outside folder, an outside image, you need to upload it, right? So that's what you're going to do. You're going to go to upload, which is over here. Okay, upload. Move you over a little bit. Upload. And then we'll have downloaded the file because we purchased it, right? So I'm going to go to upload, and then I'm going to browse my downloads. Downloads are right here, and all my love is right here. And you'll see SVG files, and the one that I'm going to go for is the heart, hanging geometric heart. And I'm going to actually just choose, there are extras that include solid score lines. But to be honest with you, just going to go ahead and just take this one here. It says hanging geo heart SVG. And it's just one piece, right? So I've uploaded that, and then I'm going to choose that in my uploaded files and add it to the canvas, which is already, it's already there. So you can see there's only one sheet of paper that you're going to be need. The way that this is designed, it only uses one sheet of paper, and it's so easy. So go ahead and cut those out, and then you can start putting them together. So here's something I just finished cutting out. And so what? It's not a pink or a red. It's my favorite green, which I love. Anyway, this color is actually from Basil, and I think it's called Aruba. Yeah, it's called Aruba. It's the name of the color from Basil. They really do have the best and brightest colors. But for card making, they're a little thick, so I tend to not have too much of that available because you have to cut it on heavy cardstock for it to cut well. And I'm so used to having it on medium cardstock. That's sort of my basic go-to cutting setting is medium cardstock. So sometimes it doesn't cut all the way through. If you're doing the Basil cardstock, you could choose something called more pressure, which will help as well. So, okay, so we've got these three, and I've also got these other pieces that I did, and I'm going to put together a couple of these because it's going to take, I think, no time at all. So why don't we do the one that has the gingham on one side, because this is a double-sided paper. You can use single-sided paper, you can use solid colors. It's up to you what you want to do. I'm just looking for the third piece. There's the third piece. There we go. Third piece is the bottom piece. It has a huge V in it right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go and fold at all of those dotted score lines. That, well, they're not, they're cut lines, but they're made so that they would be for us to fold and create a score. So we're going to do that at all of the sides of this card. Oh, remember yesterday when we were talking, oh, maybe it was a different day. We were talking about Santo and his farm. So this morning, well, first of all, did you guys know that you can call internationally among your friends with that WhatsApp app? I didn't know that you could, and he showed me that. So so he has the WhatsApp app, and so I downloaded that. And so we talked this morning on the telephone, and while he was in there, he was he was in the chicken coop, and I called to check on my cow. But he was telling me how this certain chickens don't like to go in their coop, and they rather sleep on the stairs, and so he has to go and they have to clean it up every day, or as appropriate. But he says some chickens lay 2 eggs a day instead of 1. I don't know which chickens do that. So you see what I'm doing here, sorry, besides talking, is I already closed up that V, that big V. Now I'm going to come over here and attach it like this, and that will give us the bottom shape of our heart where this V is. So I'm actually going to use my fingers for the gluing today. I found out when I use a thicker glue, I get really frustrated with my glue bottle. And even though it's quite small, it still gets in the way of what I'm trying to do. So when I'm doing 3D things, I'm going to stick with using my finger as a method of painting the glue on. All right. So that's the first piece, right? And we're going to just make sure these are folded both ways. All right. The next piece is the biggest one. Again, we have to fold it on all the places. Make sure you get a nice sharp fold there. Now you'll notice that this piece and then the next piece will have the holes, and that's what makes the holes sturdy, because they're doubled up. But as I said, you know, if you're going to use this for real as treat holder, consider what you're putting in there. I mean, I think a little bag of M&Ms and, you know, a few things, but not like loaded up with cinnamon hearts or something. Then that would be a little bit curious. So, okay, so here's our bottom piece, and here is our middle piece, and we're going to create a right here. That's where we're going to do the tab. So my sister, because she, I don't know, some 40-hour work week thing, she actually got Monday and Friday off, because they normally get Friday off. She normally has a 3-day weekend. I guess I'm understanding it now, but she normally works 4 10-hour days. And she had the Monday off, but she also gets Friday off. I don't know, it just seems weird. She gets like 2 days off, but she's normally off on Fridays. I don't know. It's kind of weird to keep track of the hours that we put in. I always found that was, especially in a management position, because sometimes in management you're working on something even when you're not there in the office, and it becomes hard. And then they expect supervisor managers, because they're on salary, to work more than 40 hours a week. That's how my old job used to do it. I was like, if I can get my job done in 40 hours a week, why do I need to be there longer? If I can get what, I mean, I used to get tons of stuff done. I was, you know, pretty assertive, and I just never saw the need to work all that overtime. But I know other people are different. So now that I have this piece closed up, I am just simply gluing on at the tabs to the plain cuts right here, you see. tab cut. So if you ever got to a place where you had two tabs facing each other, then you know you've done it wrong. Which I've done it that way before when I'm trying to put something like this together, where I've had to take things apart. Hey, is it too early to start working on spring and Easter? I was thinking, you know, we start working on Christmas. Well, we do July, and then we take a little break, and then we start in October again. Why not? Gloria, that's an excellent comment. So she's saying, so Gloria's saying when she's not sure if something will cut out, she moves it to the bottom of the vat, and when she cuts it, it's easier to check when it's finished cutting because it has the exposed edge out from under the rollers. That's a great thought process, Gloria. Well, not only that, but at the beginning of each cut, the machine is rather speedily takes your mat, and when it does that, sometimes if the paper is not secure on the mat, then it could lead for the mat to be caught under the rollers. That's my problem mostly, because I don't like to use brand new mats. I mean, I want to get the most wear out of my mats, and so, and cutting paper, you should know if you didn't know this already, but it's hard on mats because cutting paper, paper having been a living thing has a lot of, fibers and stuff to it. It's not something man-made that can be manipulated into, easier cutting or something like vinyl. Vinyl's easy to cut out with your machine because it basically it's a standardized product. Paper is not. It also leaves paper lint, which is that's, I think they call it paper lint. That's what I call it. It's like these little threads from having the paper made, and some papers are more processed than others, obviously. Ooh, look at how we're coming along here, and I like that it has that inside. And now the third piece, which finishes it up, is here. We're going to fold it at all of those scoring lines. And again, we're going to glue this tab to that flap to give it a circular look. That's what I like about geometrics, or what they call them, low polys. So low polys, they're easy to get a circular look out of something that's flat and squared off. I mean, it's kind of crazy to believe that one sheet of paper and the right way of folding this up is going to lead to a 3D object. Pretty interesting, unique. All right, so this is how the last piece goes on. We're gonna have the holes, which are right here and here, are going to align. So that's how we're going to get started. We're going to do one of the whole section. So this weekend is basically the first weekend that we've with no holidays or after the holiday type of thing. And it's just back to normal, I guess. But I was curious to spring and Easter stores do it early. Okay. Oh, you bought the Christmas tree and you haven't made it yet. Well, we could still do it. I made it and we didn't have time to show you how to do it, but there is actually a video of us putting it together. That's when I was like, oh, I think I already did this one. But the the tree goes together very quickly, and actually I have a few that I haven't completely finished. We could maybe do it ahead of time. The thing is finding a place for it after the holidays. I suppose you could make it a spring tree, like make it all white and put little ornaments on it that are pastel in color or nature, or even Valentine's Day. I have a white Christmas tree that I like to decorate with different things. One year I made a corgi Christmas tree. That was one year for that white tree, and it was red and green were the colors. And then later on that year I did a Valentine's missing you tree with all pictures of people and pets that had gone on for Valentine's Day, and that was all done in red and pink and violet. Violet, you're turning violet, Violet. Who knows what that's from? That's like one of my favorite lines in all of movie history. Violet, you're turning violet, Violet, because it has her name, the color, and the actual act of it moving from color violet. So the exclamation, Violet, you're turning violet, which is the color violet. It's sort of redundant to say violet the second time, but it's just a funny line. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, if you need to know, that was from Willy Wonka, the original Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, which I don't know about you guys, but I am a big fan of the original of just about everything. And sometimes I wonder, like, why they redo them, but I understand they have to update them as time goes on, and especially like Disney stuff has a lot of that whole old patriarchy kind of stuff. So doing those things over, but like The Color Purple, I thought that was a perfect movie. It was just perfect. So why do it over? Is it even more perfect now? I don't know. But that might just be me. You guys remember Violet? Violet, Violet, you're turning violet, Violet. I guess I am OG. I guess that's what it means when I don't want them to update it, because I heard this fella is doing it over, some kid named Timothy Chalamet, which I've never seen him, or if I have, he's not memorable, but look, we're almost done here. But there was something about Gene Wilder, because he was sort of partly mean and partly nice, like at the end where he's like, no, don't do that, don't do that. It was just like, to me, what color should we put? How about this pink, red, and gold? These are from Michaels as part of their collection for 2024 for Valentine's Day. I didn't pay the retail price on it because it was on sale. But Michaels usually has a pretty good uh, a pretty good selection at Valentine's Day. Halloween sometimes not so much, but Valentine's Day pretty good. Their Halloween leans toward the gothic, which I'm not really that into that gothic stuff, but some people are. I like cutesy. I don't know. I guess that makes. I mean, I love and appreciate real art, but some of the cutesy art I just really enjoy. Like the vintage stuff too. Like I also enjoy the vintage stuff. So I just put my finger in there, and I'm putting on my baker's twine. This baker's twine has a little bit of gold filament, and so you got to be careful when you're doing this. You might have to cut your ends. So here's my end, like that. And I made it extra long just in case. So in case like something like this happens. And I'm gonna go in there. I did it differently in a couple of these. Like I did it, this is I think the proper way, but I also did it this way with the little, and I kind of like that way better. All right. So don't forget about the sale on SVG cuts, or at SVG cuts, 25% off. There's some really cool things in there, including the Christmas tree, which it seems like people still want to do that, which we could do. I mean, nothing saying we have to do things based on, like you said, like you guys said, sure, I can, let's do some spring. It just feels weird to do spring stuff for some reason, because I don't know, because it's so cold. So cold. All right, let's see if I put that on right. Yeah, I'm just gonna, so really just cute things. I could see hanging them from, look, and I undid that one. I could see hanging this from maybe like a ceiling fan. But then again, we're very short people in this house, so no one's head would hit the ceiling fan unless Santo came by. Well, now Owen, I guess, too. Owen, too. All right, I gotta figure this out again. So, over the weekend, what are you going to be crafting? What are you going to be working on? Oh, I love Lunar New Year. I love it. I actually found a beautiful free file from Crafting with Sarah. It's one of those layered files, and I was going to do that. There's some really beautiful Lunar New Year projects already in Design Space. There's a couple of those, I don't know, they're fans. They're those little, all right, almost there, yeah. All right. So that's how you make the puffed heart, or that's how I make the puffed heart. I hope that you found some use to this. if so, and if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would encourage you to do that, because we're on at least 3 times a week with new projects that are for both basic and intermediate, and some a little bit advanced uh, projects. But we try to keep it to under an hour each time. So that's what we've done here. And I'm just thinking about next week. So next week, as I mentioned to you before, I have chemotherapy on Monday. And it's actually the pre-chemotherapy thing. Uh, I remember that, Loretta. I love that project. That was a fun project. Uh, anyway, so Monday, I think I'm going to be able to make it for 9 o'clock, because my appointment's at 7:30, and that's no more than an hour. So I think I'm going to be able to make it on Monday. I'll be able to gauge better as the weekend goes on. And then Tuesday cannot make it. Wednesday, I'm going to play it by ear, because I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to do after chemo. We'll see. I've been really, really lucky the last couple of times. And I'm feeling really good. Drinking my fluids, eating my whole foods and stuff. I feel pretty good. No pain right now, but I don't want to jinx it. Because I remember last year, I was feeling really, really good briefly in February. And then all of a sudden, right after that, I got terribly sick with my hip. And all of that happened. The whole summer was just a wreck, ruined. And I had the other surgery on my femur to reconstruct my femur. So it was a tough year last year, and I hope it doesn't repeat itself. And I'm praying that it doesn't repeat itself. So if you're the praying type, could always use another person on my side to pray for me to have a good year and get rid of this cancer once and for all. That's my goal. Or to live with it, I guess, because I think that's one of the things they tell people with stage 4. It's like learning to live with it. So anyway, that is going to do it for me for today, okay? And I will see you for sure, Wednesday of next week, but possibly also Monday and Friday, okay? If you put a link on YouTube the night before, we can check in. Okay. If I put a link, you mean a link like if I, do you mean like a link to the project and the live video? Or do you mean like a link post the video project? Okay. All right. I get it. Yeah. All right. Thank you for all of your prayers, everyone. I love you. I think about you a lot. And you are what gets me through the day. And I really enjoy what I do. And all I want is more time to do it and to inspire others and help others get their feet wet with just being creative. I've always been bothered by people who say, well, I'm not creative like you are, because I think everybody's creative in their own way. And so that's always kind of weird to think about. Well, I'm not as creative as you are. And then people who just won't, oh, I can't do it. I would, you know, they're afraid to do it. There's no wrong answer in crafting and in creation. There's no wrong answer. There's only your answer, you know, and so what if these things are fleeting, if they're ephemera and they don't last for very long? They make life really interesting and sweet, don't they? As it goes on, we are all that we celebrate, and so like when we celebrate by decorating and doing all that, that becomes part of who our culture is. So maybe someday, long time from now, we'll be called all the vintage girls who are playing with paper and nobody even uses paper anymore. I kind of like that too. Though I've always been in love with paper. So anyway, all right. I gotta run. I'll talk to you all. We'll see you again, hopefully on Monday. I will post the link ahead of time. And that's a great idea. Thank you, Loretta. Thanks to everybody who makes this possible by either just coming and talking or helping us, like Loretta and Jamie and sometimes Shirley would do to just to keep everybody in line and keeping the chat open. And I did go back and look at all of your comments on the chat because Loretta sent me a link to the chat and I was like, oh, this is cool. So I could read the chat. I think it was just oh, there's my son. Hello. You're back early. You're done with midterms. Today was midterm day. So, yep, we'll see you on Monday and then on Wednesday and Friday next week. Okay? The excerpt. Yeah, I didn't know how you did that, but that was cool. That was really cool. So, so anyway, all right, you guys, have a great weekend. We'll see you again really soon. Bye. Have a snack. He's a crabby because he had midterm exams this week. But it's over. Woohoo. Last time he'll have to take midterm exam. All right. I better go.